Yo, it's the done and there. I don't know what. Oh, okay. I know what happened. Hold on, bear with me. See what's up over here real quick. See if they gonna let me do this. Oh, I gotta go back over here. Boom, click that. Create this. Bear with your player partner. Bear with your player partner. Drop this right here real quick. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I don't know what happened. Hold on, here I come, y'all. I'm back in on y'all right now. Let's see. Do this. Trying to get cracking over there on Instagram. And I'm experiencing some sort of a technical difficulty. Fuck it. Let me get into this. Yo, what's the dinner now? Thank you all for tuning in for another thought-provoking segment of this platform. Um, Today I'll be talking about Haitians. Haitians facing severe racism in Mexico for being black. I want to send a major shout out to Crenshaw veteran for chiming in, even though I don't like to be on the fence. I don't believe in gray areas. So I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say Mary son, peace and blessings. What Rayvon? My partner Donut? If you are my partner's donuts, uncle, I send an abundance of love and respect, to you and the family, man, and my deepest of condolences, man. That dude was an amazing brother. That dude was like a brother to me, you know what I mean? Even just, talking about him, you know what I mean? You feel what I'm saying? That I miss that brother, man. You feel what I'm saying? So if you talk about my partner, Rayvon Warren, aka Donut, man, Ray Ray's son. Ray Ray's son, Ray Ray's son, Ray Ray's son, Ray Ray's son. What's up, brother? I'm Ray Bonds, RIP uncle. Hey, hit me. My number is on there. You feel what I'm saying? Hit me. So back to my amazing brother, Crenshaw veteran foe. I say Haitians face severe racism in Mexico for being black. And my partner say, and we can agree to disagree respectfully. I respectfully disagree. I don't disagree with the fact that they consider that they, well, we can't say that they don't consider themselves black because they do. They just consider themselves Latinos as well. But if we go by definition, Haitians are Latinos because they speak a language that's a derivative of Latin. You know, I believe it's Spanish is the derivative of Latin, French, as well as Italian. Italian. You feel what I'm saying? So by definition, they really are Latinos. You feel what I'm saying? But as far as them not considering themselves blacks, I have never ran into a Haitian on the streets in society or in the correctional institutions who didn't align themselves with the blacks. I have never, ever encountered a Haitian who rode with the Latinos, the Chicanos, the Mexicanos. I have never ever ran into a Haitian that rode Mexican. Never. All of them align themselves with the blacks. All of them that I know function with the blacks. They don't exclude themselves from being black. You feel what I'm saying? So for that reason, I feel like this is a worthy um, topic to get on here and express because this is how I feel, right? And some of you know I have said it in recent content about we share the same DNA as Black Caribbeans. I agree with you, most definitely, we do. I have gotten on here and I have shared my views and whatnot about how when the Mexicans started coming over here, when it was an influx of them coming over here, right? And they were considering them illegal aliens and illegal immigrants and all that, right? That's their verbiage, not mine. We showed them an abundance of love. We accepted them into our community. Um, the ones that was down and out and didn't have housing, you know, a lot of our people came out of their pockets and gave them money when we seen them, you know, asking for donations or, you know, trying to get money, and they have their kids out there and they have the placard or the signage that says whatever it says, but we contributed to them when they were in a vulnerable state, when before the American government said, yeah, you know what, we're going to give them resources, we're going to give them assistance, right? So if y'all know how it is to be down and out and be at the mercy of others in a foreign country, then why would y'all subject the Haitians to cruel, inhumane, and unusual punishment? I don't think that's fair. It should be some type of reciprocity, because when y'all came over here, we showed y'all an abundance of love, an abundance of love. And it was a lot of Black business owners that hired a lot of these immigrants that came over here, you know, seeking a better life, a better way of living. Hired them at the mechanic shops, hired them at the tire shops, hired them at the local eateries. We embraced and accepted y'all. So it's heartbreaking to find out not only is the Americans um mistreating the Haitians at the borders and you know, riding on horseback and beating them with whips and drowning them and, you know, all these atrocities. It's heartbreaking to see that Mexico has joined in hurting, targeting, and victimizing Haitians. And then the Mexican government is slow to respond, is slow to respond, haven't did anything to get them in a better situation, haven't allocated any amount of resources nor funds to help them get out of that situations to where they're in societal crisis. That's heartbreaking. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play some audio and you can hear the real testimonies of Haitians who are stuck in Mexico, who have to exist and go to the local watering holes and the shopping centers, the shopping marks in large numbers because they're being targeted for being Black. Let's get into it.
Come with me. This is despite the unique challenges Black migrants face in Latin America.
We are told there's no racism in Mexico. However, every single day, people are being killed. The realities of Black migrants is different than most, if not all, because of their skin. When it comes to other migrants, they might pass for Mexican, but when you're Black, the moment you show up, they know you're a migrant. They know you're an asylum seeker. So therefore, you are targeted.
Because the United States has outsourced enforcement of its own immigration policies to Mexico, the lives of Haitian migrants south of the US border are impacted in multiple ways. This is the story of what it's like to be a Haitian migrant in Mexico.
4 Mexican guys came and took this one guy.
Thousands are trapped in Tapachula, a southern Mexican city bordering Guatemala.
And Tapachula can and has been used as a state prison where people cannot physically leave the area. So it's been extremely dangerous for Black migrants, for Black people.
Authorities severely restrict migrants' movement, job prospects, and living conditions. There are also extensive wait times for immigration hearings. Migrants have led protests because conditions are so fraught. In September 2023, a group of mostly Haitian migrants burst into the asylum office to demand their papers.
Mexico specifically, we are right now dealing with a crisis where Black people are being pulled from the buses. We receive those videos where they are being abused, kidnapped, and asking to pay in order for them to be released. We have had too many funerals in Mexico.
Another threat to Haitians in Mexico is deportation, after the country signed an agreement with the US in September 2023, targeting northern border cities.
I would love to go back, but not right now. You know what I mean? It's And my family, they would kill them. They would kill me themselves if I would end up going back right now.
I know some of us may be on the fence about Hades and Haitians, right? But this is what I say. The Haitians is the first people in the Western Hemisphere to defeat a Caucasian or a European superpower. The Haitians is the first country, island, region over here that sent the Europeans packing. They defeated them. They whooped their ass. And they told all the other Europeans, y'all come over here, we got the same for y'all. We gonna get cracking on you. The Haitians is the first ones to get cracking, to kick it off successfully. So their contribution historically to our people cannot be overlooked. We can't ignore that. We can't ignore that they whooped the French ass many centuries ago, right? And the Caucasians still see the strength and the power in the Haitian people. And that's why they subjugate them. That's why they got them on all these restrictions. It's like you fighting a person and this person whooping your ass, and you get one lucky punch in and you put them down. And out of desperation and fear, you hold them down. And you ask them, if I let you up, you ain't gonna keep trying to fight me, are you? They keep telling the Haitians, listen, man, if we bring you into this, do you give your loyalty? Do you pledge your loyalty to us? And the Haitians say, hey, man, no. Or whatever they say. We are Haitian. We want to do for Hades. America and other Caucasian countries is the ones that's creating these poverty-stricken conditions to where the people who are from that island is turning on one another out of survival. Haitians are our people. I don't know why Kodak Black and all these other Haitians that have obtained a certain level of success, why are you not vocal about this? This is your people. This is your bloodline down there. I'm part African American Choctaw Native, but these are still my people. But being that you can trace your roots back to Haiti and you got a grandmother and a great grandmother there and your family owned property and all this there, why are you not vocal about this? See, this is the thing, man. We got to get over all the separatism, all the separation and whatnot. Oh, they're this, they're that, but they're melanated, carbonated Black folks. Those are folks. And if we in a position to speak out against any injustices against our folks, it'll be treasonous for us not to. So there's layers to this, but it all shows that on this side of the border or that side of the border, they use you. They befriend you when it's in their interest and they benefit. But once they get situated or they're in a position to where they feel they are superior, then they backstab. They target you. They victimize you. Remember the video I did when the Hispanic, the Mexican guy was talking about cultural racism? Now we see what they doing to the Haitians. Man, they over there raping kids. Man, they killing babies. They taking these people and they kidnapping them and doing all type of inhumane, just all type of just nefarious things to these people. Imagine if you was in a state of vulnerability, right? You didn't have a voice. You didn't have nothing to fight with. Wouldn't you want somebody to speak up for you? Wouldn't you want somebody to increase awareness about the atrocities that you and your people are facing, living through these horrendous conditions down there? And then they got some of them in these makeshift prison camps to where you can't leave, you can't do nothing. But yet when they come to America, they want to cry about their kids being took. They want to cry about being in these FEMA camps. They want to cry and they want the world to give them assistance. They want the world to give them acknowledgement and recognition. But when it comes to the Haitians, they want to sweep it up under the carpet so they can continue to rape babies, so where they can continue to rape the women, kill a man, victimize them. And there's no support to them Haitians down there. So we are obligated as carbonated, melanated people to speak out against these injustices. It don't matter if they consider themselves Latino, Mexicano, whatever the Haitians consider themselves to be. That's cool because they still our people. The Haitians is part of the reason why certain nationalities, certain nations fear us. Nat Turner, Toussaint L'Ouverture, these type of individuals, we can't neglect to acknowledge their contribution to our historical resilience and rebellion successfully. Yeah, Nat Turner. Yeah, Nat Turner was ultimately captured and dissembled. You know what I mean? Chopped up into pieces and murdered, chopped up into pieces, and all that, right? But he put on a successful revolution. His thing was feeling, instead of me leaving and migrating or absquatulating and going somewhere else, I'm going to go to more of these plantations and free more of my people. He could have easily did what a lot of these coon motherfuckers do right here, right now, today. Get a level of success, they get free from the confines of the hood, and then the rest of it, they say, ha ha. Now Turner said, no, I'm gonna free as many of my people as I can. That's honorable. I respect that. He didn't do what, I know a lot of y'all gonna give me some slack on this, right? But he didn't make a deal with the devil to flee the demons like Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was a spy. Harriet Tubman was allowed to do certain things. Harriet Tubman could have freed way more people, but they said, no, Harriet, it's an economy. This is what we're going to allow you to do for your people. You can do this, you can do that. Harriet Tubman was in a position to where she could have assisted, I believe it was John Brown, in liberating all slavery in America. John Brown said, no, we're going to put on a revolution because what my people is doing to your people is unjust and it's effed up. It's utterly wrong. He said, Harriet, I want you to assemble your people. He told another African-American abolitionist, however you pronounce it. I know they're gonna give me slack on a lot of BS on that, right? He said, you assemble your people there, meet me here on this day. You assemble and organize your people, meet me here on this day, and we're going to go all this shit up. We about to put an end to it here and now. They'll never see us coming. And what did Harriet and that other activist do? They betrayed him. They turned on him. He didn't know that Harriet was a spy. He didn't know that Harriet had already made a deal with the devil to flee the demons. But I digress. The Haitians, that's our people. Nat Turner, Toussaint L'Ouverture is the reason why they don't want us to be self-sufficient and independent. Because once we are self-sufficient, independent, and we can define ourselves as whatever we choose to define ourselves on, and we're moving like a well-oiled machine, and we have camaraderie, we have unity. Oh, watch out now. But they thinking that we coming to overthrow them, we don't care about y'all. We just trying to live in peace. We just want to be self-sufficient and independent, like you let everybody else come over here and be. Leave us alone. Y'all don't have to give us a 40 acres and a mule. But what we want y'all to do is stop meddling in our affairs. Let us be. The reason why the gang violence is so high is because the American government is playing a part in it. And that's what a lot of cats don't understand and watch. I say in the 1970s or the 1980s. Forgive me, I don't know the exact decade, you know what I mean? But a brother named, I believe his name was Ricky Silas. Ricky Silas was killed, right? The police killed him covertly. They killed him underhand on a hush-hush, right? And when the police killed him, they tried to say it was the Bloods that killed him. They say, no. It wasn't the Bloods that killed him. It was the police. It was Officer Wooty Whoop 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 and Wooty Whoop Whoop. So we know the subterfuge. We know the manipulation tactics that they use against us. But we steady fall for it. During the time of the peace treaties. You can't research this, right? You can either take my word or you can reject my word. It's up to you. Los Angeles Police Department came through the Imperial Courts housing projects and did a drive-by. Unfortunately, one of them got shot, murdered. It was no media coverage. It was no police investigation. They swept it under the carpet. What they were trying to do is sabotage the peace treaties, right? But they felt and they healed. They the hole that they dug for us, they felt in it, right? So guess what they did then? They used the Hispanics, they used the Mexicans to start targeting blacks. They put out the propaganda that the blacks was unifying to go against the police and the Mexicans. But it was already a plot that we didn't even see. We didn't even see that they was already in cahoots with one another. So it gets deep. It gets deep. Their tactics that they use to keep us under their rulership, keep us under their tyrannical leadership. But all you got to do is leave us alone, and we thrive. We thrive best when we left alone. Because I guarantee you, if they stop meddling in our affairs, what'll happen is we'll become accountable, self-accountable. And things may get bad, right? But this is what'll happen. We'll start reaching out to one another saying, listen, homie, we need to stop this foolishness. We can't continue to do this. But when the police is involved and the police is spearheading these peace talks, these ceasefire talks, and in a position to where they regulate who gets funding and who doesn't get funding, it creates confusion, conflict, and controversy. And all they have to do is leave us alone. We know what we got to do. The task is simple. It may not be easy, but it's simple. Let's stop killing each other. Let's start supporting Black businesses. Let's start supporting one another. And that's not just here in America. If they say that the African American man, the Asian Black man is the cream of the crop, the whoopty whoop of the universe, let's start acting like it. Because we're in a position to where the world loves and gravitate towards what the African Americans do, or the carbonated, melanated individuals here in America do. Whatever we do is set trends. So if we say, man, we in a gang violence, we making sure fathers is in a home, and we supporting Black businesses, and we holding these seminars to talk about trauma, being a father, being a man, financial literacy, how to start a business, how to get your LLC cracking, and how to do an S Corp, C Corp, and how to do all this, right? Everywhere around the world, individuals who look like us, they'll follow that trend. So to a degree, we're responsible for certain parts of Africa because we're supposed to hold ourselves to a higher standards, and we're supposed to be existing in our greatness, but we're not. We still divided by crib, blood, gangster disciple, vice lord, all that shit. That shit is nonsensical, especially in this day and time. So I don't want to get on here and bloviate and all that. I'm gonna read a little bit of this article, but this is what I want to say to the elite or the elite, right? Please leave Terrence Howard alone. I want y'all to pray for Terrence Howard. Please leave Terrence Howard alone. And this may seem heartless or diabolical about what I'm about to, this statement that I'm going to make. I'm going to tell him, take Diddy and leave us Terrence Howard. Take Diddy and leave us Terrence Howard. And I pray that the Most High put a hedge of protection around brother Terrence Howard. Take Diddy, who never did anything for his people, who stunted on his people, who made a mockery of his people, who shitted on his people, turned his back on his people, abandoned his people. And then the people who looked like him that came across his path, he subjugated them to homosexuality and partial treatment, and he degraded them. He didn't uplift his people. He didn't give his people righteous opportunities to thrive and go back into their community and pull somebody back up. He didn't do that. So why are we so vocal and supportive to this individual who don't give a F-U-C-K about us? What if Diddy did for us besides make us look bad? You know what I mean? He got into that position. He learned what these Caucasians or these Europeans do in these occult-like settings, right? He's seen that. And his freaky deaky self wanted to partake in that. But this is the thing, like Jay-Z said in that song, before they throw their own under the bus, the individual who owns Nickelodeon and Harvey Weinstein and a countless amount of others, that these child stars, individuals who are child actors and and television personalities is coming out saying, yeah, this producer did this to me and this person did this to me. But they have a system. They have a brotherhood to where they're going to protect one another. I had watched a documentary a few years back, and it said that it's going to come a time to where all this has to come to light, because that's the balance. You can't just have these nefarious individuals ruling this realm of existence without it being some type of balance, duality, right? And he said they're going to have to be called out for all of these things that they're doing, all these perversions and all this shit that they're doing that's perverted. They have to be called out. You have to hold them accountable. You gotta give them to the people, right? But before they do that to theirs, they gonna do it to ours. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, now Diddy, and a couple other individuals that they about to, shine a light on because it has to be done. If somebody has to be accountable, if somebody has to be the sacrificial lamb, right? They rather be ours than theirs because it makes us look a certain type of way, and it perpetuate negative stereotypes that's associated with carbonated, melanated people in this country. So let me just read this, man, and I'm about to get up out of here, man. And it's always propaganda. The same propaganda that goes on here in America is the same Caucasian-based propaganda that goes on over there in Mexico, where they don't call a ball and a strike, and they filibuster, equivocate, and never address the problem. All right, so here we go. Tijuana. On June 11, Gene Stanley was found dead behind a counter where he worked. He had been shot several times. He is one of many Haitian migrants to be murdered in Tijuana in the recent weeks. The city across the border from San Diego has become a popular destination for Haitian refugees who hope to immigrate to the U.S., something Stanley's family said he wanted to do. It's a place where many Haitians end up after being expelled from the U.S. under Title 42. The rash of homicides is the result of street violence and not hate or racism. That's BS. Because the Haitians down there saying they hate us because we are Haitian. That's what they saying. They target us because we are black. This is what they saying. But they always going to filibuster and make it seem like it's something other than what it is. Says Enrique Lucero, the head of the Migrant Affairs Office in Tijuana. The insecurity that persists in the city is the reason, not persecution of these migrants, Lucero said. Lucero stressed that the Haitians are welcome in the city and that employers seek them out because they are very responsible and hardworking. But now y'all creating these laws to where you're going after the Mexican businesses that's hiring them without the proper documentation. And then the Haitians are saying that it's taking anywhere from a year to 2 years for them to get the proper documentations that give them the clearance for them to get employment. There is no discrimination of any kinds against this community, said Lucero. They are simply victims of delinquency, just like any other Tijuana resident. Asylum seekers, mostly from Haiti, stand outside the Espiago migrant community in the center of Tijuana, Baja California state, May the 23rd. Lucero is urging all residents to take precautions, something that is done in all major cities around the world. Just like in Chicago or New York, there are zones where you should not frequent at certain times of the day, he said. What we're going to do is warn the Haitian community in these areas to be careful to avoid exposure to danger. As for Stanley's murder, Lucero said he was not singled out for any reason. It wasn't a direct attack on him. We need to make this clear, he said. On June 5th, another Haitian migrant, Jocelyn Asalame, was shot and killed during a robbery after he had withdrawn money from an ATM. He was just 30 years old. Corrali Archich was also found dead under suspicious circumstances in recent days, although his death was caused by a medical condition, according to Lucero. Leaders in the Haitian community in Tijuana say they are living in constant fear. It's not just in Tijuana, it's in all of Mexico. Vivian Pati Ferrere told the San Diego Union Tribune, I can say it's a systemic racism at every level of social life. Haitians face danger. Pati Ferrere is with Haitian Bridge Alliance, a nonprofit with offices in San Diego and Tijuana, which has paid for the funerals in several Haitian migrants, including Asalame and Archanaje. That is there, right? So what I want to do, I want to do my part. I don't have much. I don't have much at all. But I want to find a point of contact in that organization, and I want to send some type of supplies, whether it's clothing, whether it's food, whatever is permissible. And if you're so inclined to support and reach out to them and send something as well, man, that'd be a beautiful thing, man. Because I know how I feel to be homeless, hungry, and not have support, not have anybody to advocate on your behalf. I know how I feel to be at the bottom. So being that I know how I feel to be at the very, very bottom, why would I not throw a life raft back? Or why would I not throw some back to lessen the burden of some of these peoples who are in constant danger, constant fear, being traumatized by these racist Mexicanos who are targeting them because they're a vulnerable population and they're black. But I'm about to end this thing, man. Y'all stay up. Y'all be blessed. Shit. And all I can say is find a way to do your part. Too black, too strong. We all we need. We all we got. But shake it up, man. Y'all stay up and be blessed.